Hello everyone, my name is Himisha Bajaj and I'm going to introduce you to the first chapter of this session, Computer Virus. The topics covered in this chapter are: what is a computer virus? What do you understand by the term malware? What is an email virus? What do you understand by ransomware virus? What is an antivirus program and what is its function? And what are the precautions that you need to take to prevent your system from virus attack? The term virus stands for Vital Information Resources Under Siege. Viruses are programs which are created deliberately to damage critical information and data from the computer system. Once virus is in your computer, the files and the operating system may get damaged or corrupted. The programmer of a virus intentionally writes a program with a motive to damage data or programs residing in the computer. Very few viruses are harmless and they display only simple messages on the screen. Sometimes you might find irritating messages popping up on the screen. Viruses, they attach themselves to program files and they can destroy data or even the entire hard disk on your system. Some viruses attach themselves to a file and they lie dormant or inactive. When a certain date or event occurs, it gets triggered and becomes active. One such example of virus is Friday the 13th virus. It is also called Jerusalem virus as it was first discovered at the University of Jerusalem, which is the capital of Israel, in the year 1987. It gets activated every Friday that occurs on the 13th of a month. As you can see here in the picture, the virus infected hundreds of IBM computers across Great Britain, wiping out program files and causing considerable anxiety at a time when large-scale computer viruses were a relatively new threat. Let us see now what are the different types of viruses. As you can see in the illustration, there are boot sector viruses, file infectors, worms, macroviruses, Trojan horses, to name a few. Let us now understand the term file infector. It is the most common type of virus. It adds a virus code to the regular programming code within the program files. When the infected program is executed, other program files also get infected. It can cause irreversible damage to files by permanently destroying the content. As you can see in the picture here, on the left hand side, there are few files with weird extensions. These are the files which have been infected by file infectors. On the right hand side, there is a considerable difference in the file size between the host file and the infected file. The next type of virus is the boot sector virus. This virus attaches itself to the boot sector of the disk. The boot sector contains startup instructions and the file allocation tables. This sector is read and loaded into the memory every time the disk is booted. This virus corrupts the entire disk once it destroys or damages the boot sector of the disk. You can see here in the illustration, on the left hand side there is an uninfected disk, and on the right hand side the boot sector which is infected by the boot sector virus. The next type is executable file virus. This virus stores itself in an executable file and infects other files each time the file is run. As you can see here in the illustration, when you run this executable files, it starts infecting the other files on the system. Now let us understand the macro virus. This virus infects files that are created using MS Office applications that contain macros. Macros are mini programs that automate certain series of operations so that they are performed as a single action. Since this feature is present in MS Office applications, the files created in MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint are the most vulnerable ones. Now let us see the various examples of viruses. The first such example is worm. It is a harmless virus that simply replicates itself. But over a period of time, it consumes all the resources of computer system, making it very slow. It can pass from one system to another very easily. Another example is rootkit virus. It is a program that hides in the computer and allows someone from a remote location to take full control of the computer. Once it is installed, the rootkit author can execute programs, change settings, monitor activities, and access files remotely. Another example is Trojan Horse. Trojan Horse, according to Greek mythology, was a huge hollow wooden horse constructed by the Greeks and hid a select force of men inside. They used this horse to gain friendly entrance into Troy during the Trojan War. As the name suggests, Trojan Horse virus comes as a friendly program. However, it is very dangerous as it destroys all the data on your system. Trojan horses do not replicate themselves, but they can be very destructive. Common means of Trojan horse infection is attachment of mail. Next example is sweeper virus. It is a fake antivirus, also known as rogue. It is designed in such a way that it looks like an antivirus software, but in reality it is a virus. People download it unintentionally and the sweeper virus enters in their computer and changes system files, browsing activity, etc. Next example is sleeper virus. It is known to steal your personal and financial information. The virus is programmed to target large networks only. As you can see in this illustration, the sweeper virus looks exactly like any other antivirus software, and unintentionally the user might download it and install in the system considering it as an antivirus software, but in reality it would infect the system and corrupt the files. The next example is Alabama virus. It is a computer virus which infects executable files. The virus is loaded into the memory by executing an infected program and then affects the computer runtime operation, corrupts the program. The virus manipulates the file allocation table and swaps file names so that files are slowly lost. Logic bomb is another example of a virus. It is a program which lies dormant until a specific piece of program logic is activated. The most common activator for a logic bomb is a date. The logic bomb checks the system date and activates itself when a certain date and time is reached. Christmas virus is another example of a popular virus, which is an email worm that spreads via email as a small executable file with a variety of names and extensions. The worm is propagated by copying itself onto local and network drives as well as emailing itself as an attachment to any address. Infected email messages arrive with the subject Merry Christmas and body Happy Holidays. The attachment has a name postcard followed by an executable extension. The given illustration is an example of Christmas virus. Another example of virus is an adware. It is a program that displays an unwanted advertisement in a banner, pop-up window on web pages, email messages, or on other internet services. If you click on the advertisement, it will take you to virus-contained site and virus will install in your computer. Next example is spyware. It is a program placed on a computer or mobile device without the user's knowledge that secretly collects information about user and then communicates or sends the same information to some outside source while the user is online. These are the illustrations of an adware and a spyware. Now let us understand the various sources of these computer viruses. The first and foremost being email. Email viruses are spread by files attached to email messages. When you open an email attachment, the virus spreads to your computer. If you forward the attachment, their computers will also be affected when they open the attachment. The another source is internet download. One of the possible sources of virus attacks is downloadable programs from the web. Unreliable sources are one of the main sources of computer virus attacks. Downloadable files are one of the best possible sources of virus. Any type of executable program, including games, freeware, screensavers, as well as executable files, are one of the major sources of computer virus attack. Distribution of software. Software containing virus, if distributed on CDs, pen drives, etc., can spread very easily on other computers, thus corrupting the system as well. So don't forget to scan the sources before copying any file onto your system. Now let us understand the term malware. It is a short for malicious software. It is a term used for computer viruses, worms, Trojan horses, rootkits, etc. in general. Some virus programmers write malware and ensure that it is able to deliver its payload. The payload is a destructive event the program is intended to deliver. Malware delivers its payload on a computer in a variety of ways. Number one, when a user opens an infected file. Number two, when a user runs an infected program. Or when a user boots the computer with infected CD or pen drive. Number four, when a user connects an unprotected computer to a network. Or while downloading an infected file from the internet. What are the symptoms of malware or viruses? Let us see one by one. Computer runs much slower than usual. This could be one of the symptoms of a malware or virus attack. Memory of computer becomes less than expected. Files start becoming corrupted. Screen displays unusual message or image. Music or unusual sound plays randomly in your system. Existing programs and files suddenly disappear. Programs or files do not work properly. Unknown programs or files mysteriously appear. System properties start changing. Operating system does not start up. Operating system shuts down unexpectedly. What are the effects of malware or viruses? It can damage or rename the important files. It can damage or destroy the operating system. It can decrease the speed of the computer. It can reduce the memory or hard disk space. It can infect boot records, or it can infect executable files. Now let us understand the term email virus. These viruses spread by the files attached to email messages. As email attachments have become more common, the number of email viruses has also increased. So before opening the attachment or before downloading the attachment of an email, one must ensure the source from where the email has come to the inbox. How does an email virus spread? When you open an email attachment that contains a virus, the virus spreads to your computer. If you forward the attachment to other people, their computers will also be affected when they open the attachment. Many email viruses can also access your email address book and automatically send themselves to the email addresses stored there. Do you know the first PC virus is believed to be a boot sector virus called Brain, created by two Pakistani brothers, Basit and Farooq Alvi, in the year 1986. Ransomware virus. It is a virus that restricts access to your computer system and demands a ransom or money to be paid in order to remove the restriction. How does a ransomware virus spread? It can enter your computer through an email attachment or through your web browser. It can access your PC via your network. If your computer has been infected with ransomware, then you won't be able to access your computer. How to prevent ransomware attacks? Make sure the software on your PC is updated, including your operating system and browsers. Ensure that your antivirus software is up to date and can scan for and wipe out any ransomware attempts found on your computer. Antivirus Program. It detects the changes that the virus causes in the computer. An antivirus program should be installed in your computer to safeguard it from virus attacks and update it regularly. It protects the computer against virus, identifying and removing it if found in the memory, incoming files, etc. These are the few examples of popular antivirus programs. An antivirus program uses virus signature as one of the techniques for detecting viruses. A virus signature, also known as virus definition, is a known specific pattern of virus code. It is necessary to update your antivirus program signature files often for tackling the files containing patterns of newly discovered viruses. What are the features of antivirus? Most antivirus programs contain an automatic update feature that regularly prompts the user to download the updated virus signatures, usually at least once a week. Most antivirus programs automatically check for viruses when they are first installed. It automatically scans all the files downloaded from the web, email attachments, opened files, and all types of removable media like CDs, pen drives, etc. Users should stay informed about new virus alerts and virus hoaxes. A virus hoax is an email message that warns users of a non-existent virus or other malware. It may prompt the user to delete an important operating system file and thus make their computer completely unusable. Thus, the user should be able to distinguish between a virus alert and a virus hoax. How does an antivirus program work? If an antivirus program identifies an infected file, it attempts to remove the malware. If it is unable to remove the virus, it quarantines the infected file. A quarantine is a separate area of a hard disk that holds the infected file until infection can be removed. Quarantined files remain on your computer until you delete them or restore them. Some popular antivirus programs are Norton, McAfee, Kaspersky. Norton Antivirus is developed and distributed by Symantec Corporation. It protects your computer from various viruses and internet threats. McAfee, on the other hand, delivers complete virus protection and internet security. Kaspersky offers a number of new and improved features together with unique protection technologies. This brings to the end of my presentation. I hope you all enjoyed it.